Well, the number one problem would be the lack of awareness of how low the resolution is of your vision in your people. And I think that's a killer. That's a fatal mistake people do. And the longer you're going to wait, the denser it's going to become. And unless you clarify your vision every single day, and you do that frequently enough, it is bound to go low in resolution in the minds of people. And of course it's going to deviate and create a lot of deviation in people's efforts, and you know, they're going to start to lose their own self-belief, self-esteem, and it's going to create more problems. This happens because not because of your people, it happens because of the lack of self-awareness and self-reflection on part of the leader. He does not look into his own self often enough, and that also stops the people from giving feedback, because they have lower self-esteem now, and either because of the fear, because of the lower self-esteem, or whatever the other reason is, and that's caused by the lack of clarity of your vision in them. They stop giving you feedback, and since they don't give you feedback of your own actions on decisions that you're making, even though they're the only people who are required to do that, they're way more equipped than anyone in the world to give you feedback, critical analysis, and on how you're behaving and how you're deciding on things. CEOs, leaders grow dumber every day because of the lack of this feedback, and they grow dumber around their own people. And you know, they don't realize it until, of course, it's too late. And that's psychologically not possible to evaluate your own self and your own decisions every single time. And you require other people to do that for you. But you know, you yourself actually, you know, made sure that they didn't give it to you in time, and it's not their fault. Second mistake would be to, I mean, you can see, since in my own experience, I see a lot more younger leaders now in their early 30s or late 20s, and I can clearly see that they're dopamine-driven leaders, and because of this chemical, they have a very high IQ on the issues they're trying to solve, on you know, the problem on the table. They can look at it and try and solve it faster and quicker and way better than anyone else. But this chemical does another thing, and that's something that they don't realize, and most people can't realize this because we don't really study it. Dopamine actually gives you way more IQ for the problem at hand, but it actually lowers your IQ off the big picture. You can't zoom out properly because of dopamine. It makes you stick to the thing in front of you. And this is why most leaders are, and I can see it clearly, this is the number 2 on my list if you want to look at it like that, take it like that. The loss of symmetry of the actual problem. And that symmetry can only be looked at from a bigger perspective if you zoom out, and if you really have a capability of zooming out frequently enough. And you can't do that unless, of course, you're used to doing that and you're not that attached to the issue. But you usually, you know, fall for that prey, and this is why I can see most leaders, and I've seen that a lot of people actually see that now. They slip on their own decisions out of their own companies. And you know, to be fair, these are young leaders. I don't really expect them, because they haven't really spent enough time on this planet, let alone spent enough number of hours to look into their own selves and do a lot more self-reflection. And that's the only remedy to this problem.